Okay. Thank you guys for being on this with us today. Hopefully we can, try to say something useful for y'all. Okay, so we always talk about 15 minutes a day. You have 15 minutes a day to push your business, and what can you do in those 15 minutes? Because you can get a lot done. And the three things we really suggest are posting. We've made a social media video about it on how to post, what's the most effective way to post. Reaching out, which we just posted the Frank's method, and making your 100 lists, creating your 100 lists. And
Frank's method is reaching out to Frank's, Franks. And what are those? F for friends. It's your relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids connections, and spousal connections. So you're not just thinking about who do you connect with on a daily basis. You're thinking about everybody outside the network where there's a network.
Right. So that kind of helps you build your list of 100.
Right.
And then the third thing is follow-up. And follow-up is so important. And there's really three types that you need to do. And the first one is follow your samples. Any samples that you give out, you need to follow up with them. The second one is your customers. You really need to follow up with your customers and make sure that they're doing okay and taking the products okay and everything's going on, because a lot of times they won't reach out to you to tell you that. And then the third thing is ambassadors. So when you have a team, you need to start reaching out to your ambassadors. The one that, I don't need to reach out and follow up with Terry Jo because I talk to her every day. But the ones that you don't talk to every day, you need to keep in contact with. So we're going to talk about follow-up because we feel like it's really important.
It is.
And we want to kind of,
The fortune is in the follow-up. If you're not following up, then why did you start with your customers anyway? Because you need to be there for them.
Exactly. Plexus is not on everyone's mind like it is yours. I think about Plexus a lot, but the majority of the people do not. And so we need to make sure to be following up, to remind them about whatever, taking the products, whatever they need to do, joining, buying, whatever.
Right. So first, if you hand out samples, you need to follow up until they take some sort of action.
Right.
If you've given somebody a sample, they're interested in it.
Right.
So it's your job to follow up and make sure that they're getting all of the information that they possibly need. If you just give them a sample and they try it and then you don't ever check on them, they don't know anything about Plexus. That's what you're there for.
Right. And you need to keep on following up until they take some type of action, whether that's telling you flat out no, which it's never a no, it's really just a maybe, or a not now,
right,
or they join, or they buy. So that's how much you need to follow up with.
Right. Okay, so a couple statistics, which I'm going to have to look down because I don't want to mess up these numbers. But out of all of the ambassadors, 48% of the people never follow up with a prospect. They give them a sample, they talk about Plexus, and they don't follow through. 48%. 25% make a second contact. 12% make a third contact. And 10% make more than 3 contacts. And those are the ones that are going to be successful. Those are your separating from the dreamers from the doers. Your dreamers are the ones who aren't ever following up, but they think they want to. Your doers are the people who are actually following through. So out of all of that, 2% of commitments and sales are made on the initial contact. So if you reach out to 100 people today, only 2 of those people are probably going to decide they want to do Plexus today or tomorrow. 3% of sales are made after the second contact. 5% of sales are made after the third contact. And 10% are made after the fourth contact. So you're following up, right? 80% of the sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So if someone is going to take Plexus, it takes 12 times to talk to them because it takes them that long to make a decision. And you are there to help lead them into the right direction. Every single human needs Plexus. Every single person needs it, whether it's for energy or health and wellness. Every single person needs it.
Right.
So 12 contacts. And knowing that, like Jenny always says, it gives her a sense of peace, knowing that you shouldn't be disappointed when somebody is not interested in Plexus the first time you talk to them.
Right.
Because it does take 12
times.
Yep.
Exactly.
It does.
Exactly. So, and until you contact someone 5 to 12 times, you cannot say that no one is willing to join your business. It just takes that much work following up. So
Sometimes it takes a year.
Yes, it took me a year. It took Terry Jo 8 months. 8 months.
For her to convince me that this is what I needed to do.
Okay, I just have to laugh because we have a fan blowing on us. And so
you look like you're in a video.
Seriously, we are Beyonce. Like Terry Jo totally has Beyonce here.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. So it's a little warm over here. So we need the circulation. Okay.
My hair is really blowing.
I love it though. I love it. It's
great. I should do it all the time.
You should. Okay. So when you are following up, you need to be passionate. That is the most important thing. They need to hear the passion in the voice so they can't say no. An example, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that you need these products, that these products work. Like, believe with all your heart and share passionately with all your heart.
You do, and you have to have that belief. You have to do it. You have to honestly know that it's going to help them because it is.
Right, it is. Okay, another way to follow up. What questions do you have for me? Put it on them so they can't say yes or no or ignore you. It's really, the ball is in their court, and they have to come back with a response.
Right. The other thing is to send a testimony that applies to them. So if someone has IBS, you can give them a testimony from somebody on your team or just someone that has IBS and how it's helped them. So let them have a connection that it's not just you saying that it works, that they can actually read somebody else's story, that it does help out.
Right.
So that's a huge way to follow up. It's just another way to keep in contact.
And there are thousands of testimonies. So also offer a sample. If, you reach out and you don't offer a sample at the beginning, you can offer a sample. That's another way to keep in contact with them because then you follow up with your sample. So that's another way.
Right. And the other thing is if the company offers a special, which it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a big deal. Right. So if you have somebody that has been interested but that they are just never moving and et cetera, then when we had our 15% off, a few months ago, that's the time when you contact everybody and say, I just want to let you know that right now Plexus, if you're still considering starting Plexus, we have a 15% off right now. We have a $5 off coupon code for this product or whatever it is. It's just another way for you to follow up.
Right.
Is use those when the company puts them out.
Absolutely. When you follow up, no more than 2 statements and always end with a question. So they have to come back and respond to you. And keep it short and sweet. People don't want to read a novel. And voice message actually works the best because they hear the patient.
I still can't find. Mine's gone again.
It's what?
Gone again.
You need to upgrade your app?
I don't know. I deleted Messenger and I started over and where is it? It's still not there.
Oh, no.
It was there right after I did it. And it's not there.
You deleted it and put it back on again?
Mm-hmm.
I like that voice messaging. It's so much easier.
I don't know where it went.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, I sent somebody a message the other day and I did not put a comma in it. And it looked like I was asking the complete wrong question that I was. And she was like, huh? And I thought, commas. It's like the difference between saying, let's eat grandma or let's eat grandma. You got to have those commas.
Right.
So voice messaging for me is huge because otherwise I send, as I was telling Cindy the other day, I send so many little tiny texts and I know it's annoying as all gets out. So
you do. You like rapid fire. She's a rapid fire texter for sure.
Lost our train of thought. Okay. So keep the conversation going. If you're asking questions, they're likely to respond and it's just a better engagement. And you have to be believing and you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You really do.
Yeah.
But timing, remember that just because it's your time to be on Plexus doesn't mean it's their time.
It's so true.
And
because I started, well, first of all, it took me a year. My cousin nagged me for a year until I was finally like, okay, fine. And then I went, oh my God, everyone has to do this, even though it took me a year to decide.
Right.
So I went to Terry Jo and I said, oh my God, I've started this. You need to do it. We can do it together. We can build a team. We can learn the business together.
And I went,
yeah, that's exactly what she did. She was like, So it wasn't her time.
It wasn't. And if
just
I would have started it, if I would have started the day she did, I would not be where I'm at today. I was not in the right place. I was not ready for it. I would not have been sharing it. I wasn't comfortable with, I just wouldn't have been doing it. It wasn't my time. And it's God's timing. God gave me a date. God gave it to me. He put it in my hands. and it was my time. So you have to remember, just because it's your time doesn't mean it's everybody else's time. And that is why the follow-up is important, because today you might be reaching out to somebody tomorrow and it's not their time, but 6 months from now you're still reaching out with them and it's their time, which is exactly how it was for me with Jenny.
Amy reached out and said, when are you going to do this for me or do this with me? And I said, okay, yeah, no, it was totally my time, but I wouldn't have reached out to her. It was her reaching out to me. So, okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that before we continue?
You can raise your hand.
Yeah, just
unmute yourself. No.
Cindy's like. Okay. So, and never stop following up. Like, never stop following up.
Right.
Yeah. So,
okay. Samples. So, if someone reaches out. Hang on. Unmute. Can you unmute you?
Oh,
I got you.
There we go. Oh, hold on.
I didn't do it right.
It just didn't click on. Oh.
I'm coming at you.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, yay! Okay, so I have that new person that signed up, Tatiana.
Oh, yes.
And she signed up, and I followed up with her 3 times because I'm in sales, right? That's my job. That I hate that sales because I'm not passionate about that. So everything that you guys are saying is 100% true, and I love that. And so I tried to follow up with her, and she is not having it. So what is your suggestion when you follow up and they're just not responsive? And I don't want to harass her. I don't want to be, I just ask her if she has any questions and how things are going. Right. What do you guys say?
And that's where you kind of have to gauge in your own time. Right. And I think every single customer, every single ambassador, you just kind of go with that. And then at that point, really you just check in once a month.
Right.
So that's what I think. Don't you agree? Do you agree, Julianne?
Yes. Leslie Zan did a big training on this when she was here last summer, I guess. Jenny, is that when it was, last summer?
Yes.
And there was a dinner the night before, and everyone kept asking her questions. And she said, y'all pay attention. Every question you're asking me is the exact same question worded differently. And that is, how do I motivate the unmotivated? And she said, unfortunately, you can't.
Right.
Okay. So, Cindy, you're doing exactly what you should do. But at the end of the day, you can, tag her sometimes. If, let's say she has a husband with high blood pressure and somebody on the team page posts that, oh my gosh, my husband started the products a week ago, and you can tag her to that and say, hey, I thought this might interest you. But all you can do is little baby steps. You can't make her catch the fire. So all you can do is be there. And I will tell you, last fall, I had a level 2 sign up. I didn't even know her. And she ran into Amy at the nail salon. They figured out who each other were. And she's added like 9 ambassadors.
Wow.
Like, seeing Amy made her realize we were all part of the same team. And she kind of caught that out of nowhere. Like, I would have never thought she was somebody that was going to even acknowledge a team page. And all of a sudden she's added team members. So you just don't know.
Right. And so the big thing too, I'll put it back on Cindy, is like once a month at that point, you just want to stay with her and just kind of check in. I mean, you could do every 2 or 3 weeks or something, but you just want to.
Is she just not responding when you answer?
Right.
No, actually, she wasn't for the first. I think I reached out to her 2 times. It was once each week because I knew she got the product, and so I reached out to her at the end of that week, and then I followed up again the following week. And the second time that I followed up there, it was a few days, and then she responded, and she said, "Sorry, I haven't been responding," or "Sorry, I didn't respond sooner." Yeah, I have it, and I'm taking it. So then I said, "Well, how? Do you have any questions?" And I said, "How's it going?" And she's like, well, I haven't really been taking it long enough to know if I'm in love with it or can live without it. And I said that's fine. It took me a while too. Said, average time is about 3 months. Everybody's different. Some people can tell right away. And I said, it's helping me tremendously. So keep it up. Just be patient. She said, I will. So then I just left her alone. And
right.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you are doing exactly right.
Yep.
It's really in her, as long as she's, you're telling her how to take the products and guiding her that way. It's her job to take the products, and she's going to feel, it could be a mindset too. She's just not ready.
Right.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is just, keep in contact with her, and not a lot, like we were saying, but watch her order and make sure if she ever goes in and changes her order, then you would need to contact her about a new product,
Okay. Yeah. Good thinking. I didn't think about that. Thank you.
That's a great point.
And I just have to say hi, Kathy.
She's muted. We muted her.
Okay. You should probably mute me again.
She's trying. Here, hang on. There you go, Mom.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi. It's so nice to see you.
I know. I'm sorry I went out earlier because the area that I'm in, the internet is real iffy at best, and so it kicked me out. So now I'm using my phone to
There you
get hotspots. Yay! Joe taught me how not too long ago.
Yeah. She teaches me a lot of stuff technically too, so that's good.
That's good.
All right, thanks, ladies. Sorry, back to you. I just want to say hi.
That's awesome. Look at that.
Yay. Hi, Bo.
Aww.
Oh, hey,
It's
buddy.
cutie. Hang out with Mom. Okay,
Okay.
so
Samples. Okay, so someone reaches out to you. Hey, I'm interested in Plexus. What is it? Whatever. If they don't, buy immediately, if they don't, because some people will, actually, it's great. Some people, hey, what is it? What has it done for you? Okay, I'm ready to join, ready to buy, boom, done. Okay. The majority of people don't do that. So if somebody reaches out to you, what is Plexus? Tell me more. I'm interested. You can give a sample. We recommend only giving one. It's up to you, but only giving one because there's a few reasons. One is, well, it's just for the taste. Here's a taste test. See if you like the taste.
And they will expect way too much if you give them more than one sample.
Right.
People expect to drop 10 pounds in 3 days or their life to change in 2 or 3 days. So one, it's a great product. And if you're handing somebody out 7 days all the time and for free, you're kind of devaluing, or we feel you're devaluing the product. Right.
It's worth paying for. It's a good quality product and it's worth paying for.
And there's a money back guarantee.
Yeah, exactly. So only one sample. Right. And you always having a sample on hand to give is great too, because you never know who you're going to run into that might be interested. Right. So
carry them in your purse wherever you go. You just have a couple extra Slims. Like Julianne has always taught us, put it in a little Ziploc baggie, have your little business card in there if you have one, and you can just pull it out and hand it out.
Absolutely. But the important part is after you hand the sample to someone is to follow that sample. And it's great because it's another way to reach out. So how do you follow up a sample? You want to tell them that you are going to follow up. So it doesn't seem awkward or pushy when you do follow up. They're expecting it.
Right. And give them a timeline. Like when you hand it, go, I'll follow up with you in 3 days and see how you're doing, see how you liked it.
Exactly.
Like
then 1 week later, okay, let's say they haven't taken it or they haven't received it if you mailed it or whatever. Then 1 week later, follow up again. Hey, what do you think of the taste? What do you think of the taste? Right. Is usually what I say.
And a lot of people love it and they love it and they want to buy it and then they don't. And that's totally normal. It's okay.
It's totally normal. Exactly. Yeah. So if 1 week goes by and they still don't do anything with it, even though they say, I love it, I'm going to buy, then you follow up at the next week. Right. You basically just have to keep following up. Like the statistics show, you just have to keep following up. Right.
Emily Roberts, one of our Diamond Ambassadors, has a great technique that she uses. So basically, if someone says they will buy and doesn't, she messages them the very next day.
Very next day.
And she says, hey, I'm so excited for you to get started. And then she says, in quotes, if you have any questions, please let me know. The website can be tricky for some people. Great way to stay in contact and to follow up. They acted like they were ordering last night and they didn't. So what do? Because everybody's like, So you check back in and say, I know the website can be tricky. Do you need any help with it?
Right, exactly. And if still no response, then she posts on their wall, hey girl, I left a message with you, let me know. And this is a very aggressive follow-up,
Right.
but some people might be really comfortable doing that. Let me know when you get the message. I would love to talk to you.
And then day 2 with no action, she sends another voice message saying, hey, we had a great conversation. I saw that, I haven't seen your order come through. What's going on and what's holding you back? Now, we recommend voice messaging because personally, if I send that in a text, it can sound really aggressive and it could really put somebody off.
Right.
But if I said that in a voice message and I was like, hey, just checking in. I haven't seen your order come through. I want to make sure something didn't happen. What's going on, girl? Or maybe what's holding you back? What's holding you back from that?
Right.
Then it sounds like you have more passion.
Right.
Definitely you care about them and it's not an aggressive attack.
And it's an open-ended question to where they really do need to answer. It's not a yes or no or yes, I'll get on it tonight or whatever.
Right.
I just did this, guys. I watched this video and I just did this with 2 of my people. Now they haven't responded yet. I'll keep you posted and see if it works. So, but I love that idea. I love what's going on. Give me your feedback. I want to know.
Right. And so if it's been 2 weeks and you haven't had any action or, they haven't had any conversation, she recommends a follow-up Friday. So a lot of our Diamond ambassadors or uplines always recommend follow-up Friday. Friday, you take the time and you follow up with those individuals. Now, if you can't do it on Fridays, you can do it any day of the week.
Right.
But follow-up Friday is
kind of fun.
It's a little thing to remember.
But what she does is after there's still no response, she does not follow up with Plexus. She just follows up with, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Have a good weekend. How's, maybe there's a post that she sees or something. Like, I'll do that if somebody has a dance recital or something. Oh, your girls look so cute in their costumes or whatever. And
Make it not about Plexus.
Not about Plexus, so you're not coming across pushy, but it's still reminding them that, oh, I need to order or I need to respond or I need to join or whatever.
Right, because I promise you, people are going to think of you in Plexus.
They are. Oh, they are.
They're going to see you and they're going to be like, Plexus.
Right. They might have never said anything to you about Plexus before, and when they're walking in the grocery store, they'll say something about Plexus. They've never commented or anything. So.
And most people reach out to you first, but the one thing you got to remember is that when you're following up with that, always tell them about the 60-day money-back guarantee. Now, that is just as a customer. That's not if they're signing on as an ambassador. Right. It's a 5-day guarantee. Right. But if they're thinking about joining as a customer, remind them it's a 60-day money-back guarantee. There's absolutely no risk to them whatsoever.
Right. It's great. It's absolutely great.
But remember, most people reach out to you, so it's your job to follow up. It is your job to follow up. It's not theirs. It's yours.
Right. They reached out for you for a reason. Right. So. Don't give up.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about customers. So
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, we got 10 minutes. Okay.
I can't remember where we were at.
Customers. Okay. So we just talked about following up with samples and potentials. Now we're going to talk about following up with customers because it's very important. Once you've made the deal, it's not done.
It's not done.
It's not done at all.
You don't let somebody order and then think, oh, great, they're getting the product, and then leave them alone.
And then my job is done.
No, they don't know anything about Plexus. This is your job. This is what you are here for.
It's your job to keep constant communication with them.
Right.
Absolutely.
And most customers will quit or they'll join. And that's totally normal.
It's totally normal.
Most customers quit or join. They don't stay customers forever.
Very few. I have maybe 2 that are on the BioCleanse and the ProBio 5 that have been customers for like 10 months. And there's just no point in them upgrading, and they love the product. So, but very few stay as customers.
Right. And customers, honestly, they're flaky. They don't have that support that we all see all the time on our uplines pages and on our team pages. And so we get that interaction and we get that help. Well, customers, they don't get that same thing. Right. So really, your customers are flaky, and it's hard. It's hard. I was a customer. I was a flaky customer.
She was very fickle. She was. So,
I didn't remember to take it.
But she is an amazing ambassador.
Yeah. So just remember that.
And the more contact that you have with your customers, the better their chances of success with the products, and then leading to, joining or just continuing as a customer.
Right. But our products are good, and they are powerful, and it is good stuff. And that is your job, to be guiding them in the right direction on not only what to take, but how to take it. And so that's where you need to continuously follow up. Right. Don't get a customer and drop them off.
Right. Because there is not one set schedule for one person. Everybody's different. And you as their ambassador need to be working with them to see what works best for
Right.
them.
And you don't need to know all the answers. I think that's another big thing. And that is okay. You say, I don't know, but I'm going to find out for you.
That's Julianne's favorite is I don't know the answer, but I'm going to find out.
Yep.
So, and that's good.
I have to say it a lot. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know everything.
Exactly. We're not expected to know
No,
everything.
and that's why you have uplines, because that's what they're here for. You are supposed to have that conversation and that relationship with your uplines to be able to ask those questions. And if you ask me, I ask Jenny, I ask Julianne, and,
Right.
and Amy and Celia, we keep going until we can find the right
And you
answer.
Yes, an
Come full
answer
circle.
will come out of that.
Right.
Okay. So a timeline
Timeline.
for following up with your customers. Okay, the first thing you want to do is track their package to see when they're going to receive the product, because you really want to. Is Meemaw texting you? Meemaw, stop being so naughty. You're going to get a test after this. You're getting a test. Okay, so you want to track their package, and you really want to get to them before they receive their product.
Right. You definitely want to give them a recommendation on how to take the products before they or when they receive it.
Absolutely.
So definitely, if you have a customer, you got to track that package.
Exactly. So within the first week of them receiving it, you want to follow up twice. You just want to
Right.
help them get started and then see how they're doing.
Right.
So twice in the first week.
Right. And then after that, you want to follow up once a week for the first month.
Uh-huh.
And these are just guidelines, just
Right.
trying to give you, every customer is different, but these are guidelines definitely.
Exactly. And then twice in their second month, just, once every 2 weeks, just how you doing? How are things?
Right.
See if you need to make any adjustments for them.
Right. And these are, recommendations, like we said, and then at least with a very minimum once a month after they have received their products.
Absolutely. Or usually before. Like
Right.
I always, before their auto ship goes out,
You want to let
I
them
will
know.
send them, hey, your package is going out, in case they want to change something, in case they want to cancel.
Right.
That's usually when I do it once they're
Right.
gone.
If you have customers and their auto ship is on the 11th, at least, around the 7th or 8th, you want to start contacting them saying, hey, your product is getting ready to get sent out. Just want to make sure you're good with everything. Is there anything else you're wanting to add? How are you doing on it?
Exactly.
Yes, you don't want somebody ordering if they're not taking it. If you've got somebody with 3 months of products stacked up,
Right.
we don't want them to keep ordering it.
Oh, I just had a customer reach out and tell me that she was going to she was going to cancel. I asked her why. Because she had too much product. I'm like, well, don't cancel. She loves the products. It was helping her with her lupus. But she was going to cancel. And I'm like, no, we can figure that out. But she hadn't told me that. That's how you got to follow
So
up.
she told her that they can stop sending it. She didn't
Exactly.
realize that as a preferred customer, she forgot she could just stop
Right.
it
Yeah.
for a
So
little bit.
constant communication with your
Okay, so after that, once you have ambassadors, okay, so it depends. When your team starts growing, if you're adding ambassadors, you need to be in contact with them. If they're coming in as a wholesale ambassador, the exact same way that you would work with a customer, you need to work with a wholesale ambassador.
Right.
And I say wholesale ambassador is one who's not going, hey, I want to promote this business right now.
They're just taking the products.
Right.
For wholesale price.
You need to communicate with them the same way you would as a customer.
Exactly. Now, the ambassadors that you work with, like Terry Jo, I mean, obviously I don't need to follow up with her every day because we talk every day. So there's going to be people in your life where you don't need to
Right.
worry about that.
Right.
But the ambassadors, like I have ambassadors in my cousins. One is in California, one's in DC, and I'll follow up once a month with them.
Once a month.
They're pretty much wholesale, they're pretty much wholesale. So once a month, just reach out, make sure they're doing it. Everything is okay.
Right. The other thing that are asked, the ambassadors, the ambassadors that are working the business. I didn't get that B in there. The ambassadors that are working the business, definitely follow up with them once a week. Like she said, sometimes you're following up a lot.
Well, and
often
more
than
than
that.
likely, if somebody is working the business, they're going to be following up.
Right.
Like they're going to be asking you questions. Like my cousin didn't need to follow up with me. I was asking her questions.
Right.
I was,
Most of the time, if you have somebody that's wanting to work it, they're contacting you.
Exactly.
So that's following up. Understand how big and important that is. The other thing we want to touch on briefly really quick is why is it important to do the power of 3? And what does that mean?
Right.
3 people, if you have 3 ambassadors join you, you're going to go silver. You're going to get a $100 bonus. You're going to get welcome pack money. It's going to be helping you pay for your products.
Right.
If you train the ambassadors underneath you for them to all get 3, the same thing is going to happen to them. And it becomes this huge trickle effect.
Right.
And Jenny posted yesterday the power of 3 graphic on the Plexus Rockstars page. I highly recommend for you to take a look at that because it shows you how powerful that is for your business and
Right.
how big your business can grow in a short amount of time
And how it adds up monetarily.
monetarily.
Yes, for very little work,
Right.
for you recruiting 3 people, and for that to have the trickle effect, it can have a big impact. But it
Big.
doesn't mean you stop recruiting. You got to continually, like our goal every month is to go silver. So
Which means 3.
right, three every single month. That's just the goal. And a lot of times we don't hit it,
That's okay.
but we keep striving for it.
Right. Definitely. So far, does anybody have any questions? Is there any raised hands? Raise your hand. Or Danny, click your mute.
I know. Oh, Mima has a question.
You're on.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. How do you strike up conversation? This is dumb. How do you strike up a conversation?
We have less than
Like-
a minute.
How do you strike up conversations with someone you really don't know that well? Because I don't know anybody out here in Rockwall. And so to be able to get new customers, how do you strike up a conversation with people you don't know?
That's a really
That's a
good
great
question.
question.
Oh, good.
Julianne, do you have anything?
I think, Kathy, just how you would normally make a friendship. When you see somebody at the grocery store and she has cute flip-flops or she has a cute bag or she's buying a kind of frozen yogurt and you go, is that stuff good? I've always wanted to try it. And just put yourself out there. And it may not happen in that moment with that lady in the grocery store line, but the universe has a really funny way. If you follow up with people and you're posting about Plexus and you're talking about Plexus, it has a funny way of coming back to you in ways you don't expect. And Cindy, I heard you say you're in sales and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're cold calling and you're putting yourself out there, somebody you called 2 years ago that you weren't even expecting calls you and says, I'm ready to do business. So the only other thing is maybe join, I know we're low on time, but join a Bible study or join a group or just go to the same Starbucks every Thursday at 9 a.m. I mean, just kind of get a couple of habits.
Yeah, that's a really
I
good one.
agree.
I really like that. I like that. Yeah.
I do too. I like that.
The same. And Mima, you love Starbucks. It's a great
I
recommendation.
Right.
It's so easy.
Or take the kids there.
Yeah, there you go.
But okay, so we're counting down and we have less than a minute. You guys, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Julie,
Bye.
for joining. Thank you.
And
It was
Mima.
good. Thank you.
Bye. Cindy. It was nice to meet you, Nia.